I've been playing poker for a few years now, but this is really my second time, trying to in a tournament. So very fortunate, very lucky, and overly excited to be here today. There was a couple players whom I'm playing against today, and they said, "Boy, you're quite the animated guy." And I said, "Well, it's not that I do that. It's not for performance purposes. It's just my natural personality. I'm excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's a big thing for me. It's the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. So I am animated, and you'll see by my expressions when I'm at the table."
I got to tell you, Fred, I know some engineers, and he's probably one of the most animated engineers I have ever met in my entire life.
You're saying as a profession, they're usually a little more reserved people?
A little bit more than what Rich is. He's definitely the loudest of his building, I guarantee you that.
He's one of the louder at our final table, and we're thankful for it. He's entertaining to watch.
Kopech Cards whole cam shows suited gap connectors for Leon after Chris called out of the small blind. Leon's going to elect to check, and here we go with the flop. The flop is ace, queen, 4.
And it looks like Chris is grabbing at some chips here. This would be a delayed steal.
Leon does have the gut shot straight draw with that flop. Chris bets 80,000, double the big blind.
And Leon's gonna fold. This has been kind of the pattern Leon has been showing these players, folding on the flop to a bet.
More poker from Majestic Star when we come back. Back to the HPT, where tonight someone's going home a big-time champion here on the Heartland Poker Tour.
Well, you've got that right, Chris. $233,000 going to our champion tonight.
Deuce 3 of diamonds for our short stack, Chris Brand.
100.
Chris playing a good short stack game here. He's not afraid to get chips in the middle.
Yeah, sometimes when you get to be short stack, you get a little gun shy. You don't want to raise because you're committing a lot of your chips.
Raise.
Well, Chris, he has unfortunately made a big bet into the aces here of Rich.
400,000.
And Rich makes it 400,000.
Well, everything about the way Rich did that just screams, I have a big pair. He's erect in his chair. He does the big sigh, the confident announce of 400,000. I think he maybe even played that a little too fast.
You didn't want none of that one.
7 deuce again, Boo?
Again. Can't believe it. Suited, though, this time.
Yeah, a guy under the gun who's the short stack bets 100,000. Comes around to you in the big blind. Why not make it like 275 or something like that? That's going to make him think about it, but still might get him to call.
Careful now.
120.
Leon's going to bump it up with ace-9 offsuit. Makes it 120. 3-time the big blind. And now Rich has ace-9 offsuit.
Boomer and Leon holding the same hand here.
And he will fold. And the Kopech Cards whole cam shows king 10 from Chris. And he will call in the big blind. Flop is queen, queen, 5.
And a quick check from Chris. Let's see if Leon can continuation bet this.
If there's one thing we haven't seen Leon do a lot of today, it is continuation bet. Freddie's not afraid to raise, but he's been very reluctant to fire that second bullet. He does this time, and he bets 200,000.
And Chris has got to be locked up here. He does let it go. And you're right about that, Chris. We've seen Leon raise a lot pre-flop, but then get really passive post-flop, and that's why he's been bleeding chips.
He started off as our chip leader, now still holding on to second. And Fred, one of the people who we owe a lot to here at Majestic Star Casino is poker room manager Dom Nero. He's standing by with Danielle.
Now, Dom, what a great event this week here at Majestic Star Casinos.
Danielle, it's been fantastic. I mean, the market with poker and what Heartland has brought us is great. We're looking forward for season 4. The players here are very competitive, and it's attracting players from all over the Midwest and the United States. So it's been great. Heartland and Majestic, great team.
Fred, they say that a team is only as strong as its weakest link, and I got to tell you, Dom's put together such a great staff. I haven't found the weak link yet.
Hello, Captain Brown Noser. Not going to get you bumped up the 2-5 list, okay?
Seriously, that list is really long. I need to get up there now, Dom. Not kidding you. All right, back to the action at the final table. $233,000 in cash and the HPT championship for our winner tonight.
The Kopech Cards whole cam shows Jack 6 for Leon, our former chip leader.
Chris has already limped in with Jack 10.
Leon smelling some weakness with that limp. He's going to jack it up.
100 more.
It's 100 more thousand to call for Chris.
That's a little under a third of the chips that Chris has left in front of him. And he will make the call to see the flop, Fred. Here's the flop. It's ace, 8, 9.
All in.
Chris flops the open-ended straight draw, pushes him in, and Leon can do nothing but fold. And again, Chris, this is a pattern that Leon has been showing these players, folding to a flop bet. Our short stack, Chris Brand, is playing a great short stack game. And, buddy, if he's going to go out, he is going to go out swinging.
This is the farthest I've ever been in a live tournament. Obviously, I'm pretty nervous. I've been nervous for the last 3 days, though, so I'll probably be a little bit nervous tonight. But I think I have a pretty good chance at it, and the guys at the table I'm pretty comfortable playing with, and we'll just see how the cards go. You know, I told myself once I make it to the final table that I'm gonna play to win, so I'm gonna be aggressive at the beginning and just go after the smallest stacks.
Well, Freddie's been wearing the same turtleneck for like 8 days now. He's got our sweatshirt on. He's a young kid. Let's go ahead and pull for him, huh?
Hey, you know, if he wins $233,000, he's not going to be short of friends. I guarantee you that.
Or HPT gear. He could buy pretty much anything on the shelf he would want. All right, well, he is on the button now. Has a decision to make.
140.
He is going to make it 140 with his wired nines.
And Leon with ace-jack in the Copeg cards hole cam. Is this a smooth call, Chris, or is this a raise?
Fred, ace-jack is a tough hand not to see a flop with. It's not really a raising hand because you are dominated so many different ways, especially when the short stack's raising into you. So, yeah, making the call is definitely the right play here and seeing the flop. Sad thing is, best case scenario is you hit the jack.
Well, let's see what happens on the flop. Right now, Chris ahead in the hand. Let's see if his nines can hold up and make the short stack grow.
The flop is 10-6 king.
Well, that's a scary board for pocket nines. Let's see if Leon can take a stab at it.
And Leon is going to check. And now Chris looks like he's staging chips to make the continuation bet, and he does. He makes it 160,000.
Great play by Chris here. Leon with a gut shot straight draw. The more time Leon takes to act, the more comfortable Chris has got to feel about his wired nines.
Fred, if there was a situation where a player could pull off a trap move or a bluff trap move, this would be it for Leon. He has been very passive after the flop. He comes over the top there. Chris is going to have to fold.
Well, and that's one of the benefits of knowing what the players are holding. But Leon is going to have to shift gears soon.
More from the HPT Championship Open when we come back. Welcome back to the Heartland Poker Tour, where, Fred, we've still got nearly $500,000 to divvy up between Jason, Boomer, Chris, and Leon.
And when we do come back to battle for this HPT championship, Jason will be the chip leader, enjoying just under a 2-to-1 lead over his closest rival, Rich. And Leon, our former chip leader, is now in third place with $1 million in chips.